Hey guys, wanted to take a few minutes and show you a little bit about CCB, which is our online calendar, like database, scheduler, all things included in that. So when you get to your computer, of course, open up your browser, whatever you use. I use Firefox. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, and so there's my homepage, of course, Bridge Christian Church. And so one of the first things that happens when we create a new schedule for volunteers, whether it be frontline or children's, is that you'll get an email. And the email will look like this. So make sure that you display images. They'll be important. But basically what it will do is it will tell you that you've received a request to volunteer. And it'll list the dates and positions that you're being requested to volunteer with. So this is the confusing part, and it's something we're still trying to get fixed. For frontline, it's a little confusing because different positions work at different times. So basically, there are 4 different times. There's setup, there's before the service, during the service, and after the service. So until we get this issue fixed, basically what it's doing is that a greeter is a position that just happens pre-service. But for some reason, it's showing all 4 times for the greeter. Like, we don't need a greeter at setup. It doesn't really make sense. So if you guys would just help us by kind of deciphering, if you're being requested for this position, just know it's only at 9:30. Same thing for setup. Setup would be Friday night at 5:30. Teardown is after the service, which would be the post-service team. So if you can kind of decipher that, later I'll show you too another place where it's a little confusing. But if you can, this is the important part, the part on the right. So greeters before service, which would be 9:30. Setup, that would be a Friday night thing. Teardown would be a post-service thing. The important part that we really need you guys to do is once you get this email, at the bottom, you need to respond so that we know. Just because you sent this request doesn't mean that we know that you're coming. We need you to respond and let us know you're coming. So you click on that link, it's going to take you to our church community builder site. And your username would be the email the email address of what you just received. So it's like this email that I received. This is my Bridge Christian Church email. So my username is scotty@bridgechristian.org. And I put in my password, and it should take me right there. So it takes me right to the page where it shows all my scheduling requests. Now, by chance, your login doesn't work, can't remember your password, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. What you just need to do is when you get to this page and you can't log in, you just hit forgot password. And so put your email in, and it will shoot you an email back with your password kind of reset. So if you need any help with that, just definitely shoot me an email, give me a call, and I can help you walk through that. But it's important to be able to log in because that's how this whole system works. So what you need to do is kind of go through and either accept or decline. There's only 2 choices. Maybe is not really a choice. So if you can know that you're going to be there and you can accept, great. If you know you're going to be gone, please just go ahead and decline. That way we know what it does is when you decline it, it'll remove it from your assignments, but it also sends me an email and says, hey, we need to fill this position because such and such is going to be gone. And so the further ahead we know, we can plan ahead and get your spot filled. But let's say like this is December that we're looking at in this dummy schedule. Let's say you accepted a position for the greeter, but something has come up later in the week and you're like, oh no, I can't make it early to be a greeter. You can change your response. So you can go back and change your response to decline if you need to. But we're going to leave it as accepted for now. Then once you're done, click I'm finished, and it'll take you to your page. And so your page kind of lists your activity, what you've done, messages you've sent here. What it does once you also accept something like a volunteer position, it adds it to your schedule. So if we go in here and click on our calendar, we can go to all the way to December. And we'll see that we were added let some serving positions. Now, here's the confusing part once again. It has serve, like that greeter position that we just accepted. It's showing it on Friday, but that's wrong. So basically what it's doing is that the computer is, because we have those 4 different times for frontline, all the different volunteer positions are being added to all those times, which is incorrect. So you can just know that there is no greeting being done on Friday nights. A greeter would be at 9:30. So see, it's showing all those times. And really, the greeter is only in that pre-service team. So if you guys can help me by just kind of deciphering which team goes with what, until we can get that fixed. So hopefully that will be soon. So a few other things about CCB, which is this site. It's really great. This is kind of your source for knowing what's going on in your volunteer role, knowing what's going on in the various groups, whether it be your home group or somewhere you're volunteering. This is a great resource. So if you click on groups, it shows you all the different groups that you're in. Of course, there's a lot of groups here listed for me because I'm kind of helping get a lot of these groups started. But for you, if you're involved in a home group, it'll list that. So if you click on your home group, you can like send a message to that group specifically. You can click on the different participants and see if you guys have events scheduled. It'll show you all your events. So also under groups, for you volunteers, there are volunteer groups as well. So if you're in the children's ministry volunteer team, here it is right there. If you're on frontline team, here it is there. One of the important things, if you click on these teams, it shows you events, if there's specific events for them, messages that have been sent out, that might be important, and also schedules. So you can go on and see the schedule and kind of where you're fitting in. So let me show you one thing on the schedule. So that you know kind of what it looks like for us. So it goes through, of course this is a dummy schedule, I just kind of made one up real quick, but it tells me how many positions I still need to have filled. So what happens is when you accept a request, you turn green. So this is my schedule and it shows me exactly how many more people I need. Like Amanda, I put her in here. She's yellow because she hasn't responded yet to this request. Scotty here is red because he declined that request, so I can go ahead and just take him off. But what I can also do is kind of, when I click on that, it shows me who's available and who I might be able to add in. So if I add people in there, it'll send another email and request them to come. So also this one's green because I accepted it. Now if I go back to the group, one of the cool things about this program is it allows you to adjust your availability. So if you click on that adjust availability to serve, it'll take you to a few different things. One, your general availability. You know, how many times you want to serve per month. So I serve quite a bit, so I'm at 5, which is the max it goes to right now. If you're on our 5th Sunday or just kind of once a month rotation, you might be a 1 or a 2. If you're every other week, I would say you're probably a 2 or a 3, depending on how many weeks we have. But also what you can do is once we get the rotations all lined up, you can kind of assign which weeks you are. If you're on that 5th week team, you would just be that. We only have 1 service right now, but as we kind of add more services, whenever that comes about, you'll see that you can choose which service you want to add. Now, this is kind of cool too. If you have different positions that you're involved in, you can even rank them on your preference. Like, so if you really like being the greeter, you can put that first. And so we kind of see that when we're making the schedule, it'll list you first under that greeter team. So if you really love setup, you can move that up because we love people who love setup. So anyway, if you fill that out, you can just click save. But then also there's several different things on here, like scheduling requests. It'll show me what I have accepted or what new requests there are. So anyway, there's where I'm serving. One of the cool things too, if you know you're going to be gone, one of the things that's really helpful for us is if you go in here, this is the blackout dates calendar. You can click on dates where you know you're not going to be available. So if you're going to be gone for like several days or even a week, you can mark yourself as unavailable. But like you see, if you click on it again, you're available again. And so one of the other things that you can do, I think I may have covered this, but we're going to go over it again. You can change your response. So if you know if something else has come up, you can decline the request if you know you're going to be gone. So that's a little bit about CCB. There's definitely more that you can get into. It's a great resource for connecting us as a church. This new scheduling request feature, I think, is going to be great. We're going to be planning out the schedule several weeks in advance so that we have people lined up. But just thank you for serving. I hope this tool is helpful for you. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me about that. This address is important. I'll include this in the email with this video. This is the login address of where you go, bridgechristian.ccbchurch.com, and then that /index.php will get you to the login page. So thanks for your time, and have a great week.